Unfortunately, you can almost see I hate to say this, but somebody's got to say it. Nobody else seems to want to talk about it. You can almost see, if you read about World War I and you read about World War II, and it was particularly World War II, the war my dad fought in, it just was particular interest to me, and you read about evil always exists, and it's our natural instinct to want to stop evil when we see it, and America being slow into the conflict in World War II, there were those that did not want the United States involved in World War II. Fascism, Nazism, Imperial Japan. And to his credit, I guess in one sense, FDR wanted to get involved, and Winston Churchill wasn't going to allow him not to get involved. Remember, he was the guest that would never leave after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And it turned out that even enemies became allies, the former Soviet Union, et cetera, and we were able to beat back after Hungary, and, it's just all these countries, just one by one, were toppled. We're dealing, although in a different form, in radical Islam, and I make the distinction for those of you who say you don't make a distinction. I'm talking about radical Islam. We're going to look back through the prism of history, and we're going to define this error as the rise of the radical Islamists. I am telling you it is true. And you're seeing the formation now of what could very potentially be the next world war. Because it's not just the Middle East that is radicalized. I mean, when the eventuality is Israel is going to face a moment like this at some point. Because all of its neighbors, you've got Sunni, Shia, they're all aligned in their hatred towards Israel. Israel has heretofore, since its formation in 1941, the UN partition plan, they were attacked the very next day. They've been attacked in 67, 73, and there's been an ongoing low-level proxy war fought by radicals ever since. And that's why you see thousands of rockets every year fired into Israel. You can say at some point, Israel's going to come under fire, and good countries are going to have to come to its defense. But it's going to be against radical Islam in all of its forms. You can almost see this precipitating it. If, in fact, the U.S. strikes and Iran gets involved and Syria gets involved, and then you're going to see countries very quickly go down the middle and start taking sides. It has the potential. It's a powder keg. Now, nothing's happened yet. It looks like the concerns, everything I said yesterday about Syria, the dangers of what I'm calling a therapeutic bombing. The president may feel like he answered his threat for the red line that he's drawn, that's probably going to come to pass. And the Washington Post, in a story based on Obama administration sources, reports that the president is weighing this military strike against Syria and saying it would be of limited scope and duration, designed to serve as a punishment for Syria's use of chemical weapons, and hopefully they're hoping as a deterrent. There may be severe consequences for this therapeutic bombing. The timing of this attack, we're told, could last no more than 2 days, maybe involve sea-launched cruise missiles or possibly long-range bombers and striking military targets not directly related to Syria's chemical weapons arsenal. Now, those strikes now depend on three factors. One is the completion of an intelligence report assessing whether the Syrian government has culpability in the use of these chemical weapons in this chemical attack. Also, the ongoing consultation with allies. Hopefully, Congress will get involved, too. A determination of a justification under international law, which is the argument that Secretary of State Kerry is making, that Syria has committed unforgivable acts with its use of chemical weapons. The only thing I'd say back to him is, where have you been the last 30 months? 100,000 deaths later. And they said that he's claiming this international norm cannot be violated without consequence. I don't give a damn what the United Nations says or thinks. what is in the best interest of the United States. And we better be thinking about what is in the best interest of our only ally in the region, Israel. Because if we're going to, just for some therapeutic bombing so the president gets to say he struck back, could have dire consequences for them. Very severe, significant consequences for them. You know, we saw this, these symbolic gestures are meaningless to me. That's why I'm urging people to just look at this objectively, discerningly. You know, we saw this in 1998, Bill Clinton.